Chance found out all of the information he found out about Slytherin or Gryffindor or whatever. A lot of them have no idea, other than, like, maybe pamphlet reading or this.
So would it be safe to say, then, that maybe some of them is, like, it's kind of predetermined, and then others it's like, we'll see what you get?
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably depends on the person.
Right.
So, Professor McGonagall is, like, hollering out names, and one by one they have to go face the hat. And even though Harry knows that he's not going to have to, like, do magic tricks or anything like that for the test, now he's faced with putting on the hat. And he's kind of going into a panic because, well, I mean, I guess he's doing what any kid does. He's like, oh, I'm going to be a Slytherin. And kind of beating himself up about it when he really has no idea either.
The hat is calling out Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. They call Hermione Granger, and she gets sorted into Gryffindor.
I was kind of surprised that she got Gryffindor only because she's a know-it-all. So you kind of figured Ravenclaw.
Studious, nerdy,
Yeah. Not only, like, nerdy, like you said, but extremely so. She's fucking brilliant. She's got all of her books memorized by heart already, and she's 11. So, like, kid genius should be a Ravenclaw, but isn't. I thought that was interesting.
She's gotta have a little something extra.
Could be.
Either way, Ron doesn't give a shit. Neville?
And Neville gets Gryffindor.
But he forgets to take the hat off, and I love it.
It's funny.
He was freaked out just enough. He was like, alright, I'm done, and just took off.
Poor Neville.
That's totally something I would do, and then cry afterwards.
It's like stumbling on graduation, where you flub it, and you're like, oh no!
But
I did that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There again, though, I kind of thought, like, Hufflepuff kid, that was my idea for him. But here we are. Gryffindor it is.
Neville should have been in Hufflepuff with me, but no.
He would have been a good duffer with you.
He would have.
What is a duffer?
Like a
gonna-
fluffy...
I'm gonna equivalent it to, like, that dumbass over there. Like, that duffer over there. That's my
Somebody
equivalent.
stupid.
I'm probably
Yeah,
wrong.
they're
I
not
thought you
like...
were just pointing at me.
No, well, no, but I can.
Yeah, like a dunderhead.
What's
you
a
know?
dunderhead? That doesn't... Oh, duffer's a dunderhead. Oh. What's a dunderhead?
I
It's
was
a
wondering what
squibloo.
it meant
What?
when it says you can keep your bowlers black.
Bowler.
Bowler hat.
Bowlers.
Is that the hat?
Bowlers black.
Yeah.
Bowler
What is
hats
that?
are black.
They're black. Maybe they're other colors.
It's talking about a different hat.
Yeah.
According to the dictionary, a duffer is an incompetent or stupid person, especially an elderly one.
Well, now
you go.
I just feel
So,
awful. I'm
or-
insulting elderly people.
There is a
There you
second definition: a person inexperienced at something, especially at playing golf.
Huh. What about Urban Dictionary? Maybe we
Urban
need
Dictionary?
to go that route.
That might be a better.
I don't know that Urban Dictionary is ever better.
Is it not?
I love
Do you remember
Urban
what
Dictionary.
Nate
I've
is
been on it
Urban
once.
Dictionary?
Yeah, okay. That's the one time I've been on Urban Dictionary. I searched my own name and went, oh, and then I left Urban Dictionary. Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
here we go. This is funny. I just searched duffer definition on Google, and then I cleared my search at the top of the page, and duffer still shows at the bottom. And then I type in urban, and the first thing that comes up is Urban Dictionary duffer. They're like, oh, we know what you're doing now. You're not the first guy to go down this road. Here it is. Urban Dictionary duffer. The designated ugly fat friend found in a group of girls out on the town. She may be a cock blocker unless your group of guys has someone drunk enough to, yeah. Alright, we're going to take a break for just a second, and while we do that, I want to talk about the beer we're drinking. This is total chance that I found this. It's Founder's Blushing Monk. It's a Belgian-style ale fermented with pure raspberries. But I think this stuff is fucking fantastic. What about you guys?
Oh, I find it delicious.
Hiccup. I dig it. Jade likes it. That was the perfect answer. Shit's good, man.
Delicious.
For real. If you guys have this by you, Founders Brewing is the shit. I drink their beer all the time. Yeah, alright. Back to it.
Harry Potter has just been called up to get the sorting hat on. It's happening.
Sorry.
Everybody is stopping to look at Harry Potter. They want to know who he is.
Did you say Harry Potter?
Yep, Harry Potter.
Potter? No way, Potter?
Harry Potter? Yep.
The actual Potter?
Yeah, Harry Potter. So he is with the sorting hat, kind of arguing a little bit with it. And he's like, not Slytherin. Not Slytherin. The sorting hat's like, better be Gryffindor. And boom, he's a Gryffindor. He's in.
Harry takes off the hat and walks shakily towards the Gryffindor table. And everybody cheers.
Oh, they're ecstatic. The twins are yelling, we got Potter.
Yeah, he got the loudest applause out of anybody. He was too shocked to realize it, but everybody went nuts for him being a Gryffindor.
And finally, Ron gets sorted, comes and sits down next to him, and they finish up the sorting, and McGonagall takes away the hat, and they all realize that they're fucking hungry.
I want to make a point real quick. What are the odds that every person Harry meets between leaving the train station and getting to Hogwarts and has a conversation with, and doesn't hate, like, you know, obviously Malfoy didn't like that kid, Ron, his brothers, Hermione, the weird kid that keeps losing his shit, everybody's a Gryffindor. What are the chances of everybody he meets all becoming Gryffindors? They only met by chance.
Maybe it's not a coincidence.
Well, I guess that's really the question then. Do you think that it is a coincidence? Or do you think, is there something more at play here?
Do you think that if Ron would have been put, or Harry would have been put into Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff, they would have been friends still? Even though they spent the journey together?
I kind of don't think so.
No, I think they're meant to be together.
So then they meet Headless Nick, the ghost. Ron, he goes a little crazy for a second, and he tells everybody, I know who you are, nearly Headless Nick. And the ghost, he really didn't like that, and shows him how his head is hanging on by a piece of skin. I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought that
From
was
the
pretty
description.
gross.
Just pops his head off.
Just hanging there, and then floats away.
It also points out the Slytherin ghost, the Baron,
Bloody Baron.
right? The Bloody Baron.
The only person that can control Peeves, the trickster ghost.
Does Peeves belong to a house?
No.
He's just kind of stirring shit up.
Creating havoc.
Yep.
So the Baron is covered in, like, silver blood, and the kids are asking Nick, how did he get all the blood? And he's like, I don't know. I never asked him. Which, it says he's been in the castle for like 400 years, so these two have met. They're not stranger to each other. I don't think he's telling the truth. I think he knows where the blood came from. He just doesn't want to say to a bunch of little kids.
There's something going on there.
Yeah.
So then the kids start talking, kind of trying to get to know each other, and they start asking about their parents. Some of them say they're like half and half. One parent's magical, one's a muggle. Neville said his grandma raised him, and she's a witch. But the family thought that he wasn't going to have any magic. And his kind of crazy uncle was like pushing him off a pier and dangling him out of a window, trying to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, they screwed with him a lot. It's no wonder that his nerves are fried, man.
Right, like, this kid's been through the ringer a little bit here with his uncle. But then it finally happened, and he got into Hogwarts, and they were all happy and excited.
Now he's seeing all of his teachers. That's pretty cool. For the first time, he gets to see,
Dumbledore, Hagrid's up there, McGonagall.
so is Professor Quirrell. That's the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher.
And then it happened. His scar started to hurt. It only happened for a second, and then it was gone. And he asked who that teacher was. And we get the little introduction into Snape. He teaches potions, and he wants the Defense Against the Dark Arts job.
Snape looks at Harry and makes his scar hurt. It's over quickly. I don't think he thinks too much of it.
He does notice Professor Snape was looking at him with some kind of like, I don't like you,
Right.
kind of look in his eyes.
I don't think he understands any sort of implications from that yet. But
Right.
he knows that that is what happened.
So now Dumbledore stands up, and he's greeting everybody for a quick minute, letting the kids know They're not allowed magic in the hallways. That right there gives me a question. Now, the children aren't supposed to do magic outside of Hogwarts. How come on the train when Harry meets Hermione, she even tells him that she's been practicing and has already mastered a few spells herself?
What kid do you know follows the rules?
But how come they don't get in trouble?
I don't know.
Wouldn't they be getting in trouble somehow for doing magic outside of Hogwarts?
Maybe it's like bigger shit. Like what if they're just doing like little things? Maybe they don't get in trouble for that. But if something big, like if they blow something up,
Okay.
maybe then they get in trouble? I don't know.
One of the things that Dumbledore says is, like, stay out of the forest. He goes, first year should know that the forest on the grounds is forbidden to all pupils. And a few of our older students would do well to remember that as well. And he looks at the Weasley twins. He's like, you too. But he goes, Dumbledore's twinkling eyes flashed in the direction of the Weasley twins. To me, he's kind of be like, you two know what I'm talking about. But I don't think he did it in anger, because he wears purple and high-heeled boots and pointy hats and likes lemon drops. And I think he's like, you two troublemakers know what's up. But I think he's more comfortable with their kind of trouble. It wasn't like a hateful glare. He was just like,
I know what you're doing, kind of.
Right.
Thing. Right. I got my eye on you.
Right. You're being watched. But, like, I don't know. The Weasleys they don't seem to be out to hurt anybody. They just like to fuck around. He starts talking about the Quidditch trials, trying out. Then he gets real and he's like, hey, the third floor corridor on the right-hand side is out of bounds to everyone who does not wish to die a very painful death. Harry fucking laughs when he says that, and he was like the only one. Like 2 or 3 people. I can picture him awkwardly honking out loud and then looking around and being like, oh shit, he wasn't, oops, what? Like, we're gonna die if we go up there? And he asks Percy, who's a prefect, he's like the dude you're supposed to ask. A guidance counselor, kinda? I don't know exactly what it is.
I would say, like,
model student?
resident advisor.
Okay.
Like, college, when you're in a dorm and you got that one person that you go to, like, you know, your
Like the dorm
RA.
leader?
Yeah, that dude.
So he asks Percy, he's like, he's not serious. And Percy's like, yeah, no, he probably is. What?
And Percy is only concerned because he didn't get told before everybody
Right.
else.
Why do you even want to attend this school? Fuck being told first. Let's get the hell out of here.
You have to be careful which hallways you fucking walk down.
Right.
Okay. So then Dumbledore mentions that they have to sing a song before bed. And the teachers' faces are fixed. Like, they fucking hate that he has to do this every year. Because he is just delighted to listen to the kids sing at whatever pace or whatever melody that they choose.
To any song they want.
Yeah.
He literally goes like, pick your favorite song, and they put the words up for everybody to read, so everybody's saying the same thing, but they're singing something different.
Yeah, which is a mess.
I imagine this to be the equivalent of sitting through the kids' like choir concerts. Where you're not really sure how this is gonna go, and then it doesn't really sound great, but then you clap at the end anyway.
I don't feel like I could probably come up with a tune on the spot with all those other kids singing other songs around me. I would probably just not.
Right, what would you go for? I'd do something fast, probably like death metal-y, so I could just get it done. But like the Weasleys, they chose a funeral song, so they were like the last ones to finish, and Dumbledore was sitting there with his wand, like just going along with it, pretending like he's guiding them for the last few measures of the song. And he was into it. He was just like, huh.
And that's the Dumbledore that we love. I genuinely love his like quirkiness, that he claps loudest and he waits until the very end. He doesn't care. He's just fully,
He's getting the most joy out of it.
yeah.
He's totally keeping his cool in all of that chaos, because that would be an awful, awful, awful thing to listen to, and he is loving every second of it. He says something in his speech like, he goes like, music. it's better than any magic we're gonna make here. And I was just like, fuck.